Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Heading down to the shed. Haven't been here for over a week, so thought I'd come in, take a coffee, reassess what's going on, and take a look at the projects, take a look at the Green Limousine, and see where we're at with that, and talk about some of the stuff that's going on. So I've got this side done. That's the right hand side of the car, also known as the driver's side in Australia. If you're not familiar with the Australian way of doing things, we do it on the right, and some of you may do it on the left. But anyway, so that's those done. I've done a quick patch panel there, but then I had to go off to work, so I haven't got that finished up. This week I'll be attacking probably this section here. I'll be cutting that out of the CL, white CL roof that I've got up the back, which is on the VH. There's a bit of an update on that VH Town and Country. Not a positive one, but you'll see that in a little while. I've tacked all that in, place. I've welded all that in place where the two meet. So top section is the CL, bottom section is VJ, obviously. Bit of a gap here, which makes me wonder if the CL Dutchman panel wasn't different to the VJ because of the shape of the CL boot, which is going to cause me a bit of an issue when it comes to fitment. But I do see that this is a bit bowed. I don't know whether I just have to straighten out my boot, or that's a problem for later Jeff though, not this Jeff. Speaking of later Jeff, I started doing this boot welding in August. It's now the end of October, so I do apologise, and I do get some comments about the length of time between my videos. I do work away a lot. It is not always easy to get into the shed. Sometimes it'll be well over a month before I get back to the shed. So it's not always easy to put the content together. I did get a comment the other day that one guy said, can I make more shorter videos? The answer to that is not really. I'd like to. I tried it in the beginning, but making up repairs and patch panels and stuff, it's a convoluted, long-winded process, and welding them in and whatnot. So it's very hard to make short videos of the process unless everything's time-lapsed, and then I'm not really telling you guys what's going on. So others said they enjoyed the longer content. Let me know in the comments what you think. I did a bit of a video just a few minutes ago. I went down to the old cars in the paddock and did a bit of a walk around, which I'll cut in now. This is a VH Town and Country Ute that I was going to restore for my daughter. Sadly, the rust has got right into this and caused it to be not a viable option anymore. It's got to the point where to restore this just doesn't make any sense with how many are left in the world. So the other day we looked at it, we realised that somebody's come along with a loader at some point or something, and they've shoved this car over and they've done a heap of damage on this quarter. We were always going to have to repair that anyway, but it's just opened our eyes to the fact that this thing is so far gone that basically from the firewall back it is completely knackered. We'll take bits and pieces from it, but not a lot. That being said, we will find her a different one and we'll do it up. She's not specific on it being a VH or a Town and Country. She likes all models right up to CM, so I think they made them in CM. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But you know, I'm looking at this plenum and I'm thinking that's in pretty good nick. So it's obviously it's not perfect, but you know, I can make a solid buck up from that so that I can make other ones for my other Valiants and maybe even make them up and sell them later on or something. I've got this spot down here on the limousine that I was going to hand form, but if I can use that part of the firewall, I'll do that. You know, it's no point making that up by hand if I can just cut it out of this one. You know, if we were going to do it up for her, then I wouldn't have done that, obviously. But if we have just made the decision, which we have, that we're going to move on with life, then we'll use what we can, which then brings me to these, you know, inner guards. These fire engine bay panels are in extremely good condition. So, you know, I'm probably going to unpick them because they're way better than the ones in the limousine. So, you know, the limousine's probably going to benefit from this. My Charger is going to probably get the radiator support and the VH guards, genuine VH guards, because the VH guards they're slightly different to the VJ ones. They've got one there and one there, which I found out from Coop's Cars. If you're not subscribed to Coop's Cars, you should go over there and give him a check. Old Dave is great content. Anyway, so, you know, I'll be utilising pieces off this thing. So as much as it's sad, it has caused a big relief as far as finding certain parts. So I'll use a lot of the front end suspension, or probably all of the front end suspension, different K-frame because I'm going with the V8, but I'll still keep this K-frame. This is a 215, so I would never put a 215 in anything. Doesn't make sense to me. This one's completely seized when I got it. I've got 245s over there, two of them. So I'll be using those or one of those in this probably. But that brings me to the point of, in my video where we moved the green limousine, forgive me if the wind is up. I've tried to shoot this a couple of times and the wind keeps attacking me, that and the flies. When we moved the green limousine from right there, so you can see how far that's been moved because it wasn't there before, I made the comment that it had deteriorated significantly in a few months, and that you should cover your cars if they're outside. And then I didn't take my own advice, and then you get this. That one, I'm starting to see a bit of deterioration, so I'm going to get a tarp on that today. This one here, my son wants to turn into a two-door. I think he wants to turn it into a two-door. He definitely wants to turn it into a convertible. That is going to be a big project down the track. Once we get his XB and my Charger done, that'll be the next one. So that's got to get covered up. So there's a lot going on, and time is, you know, short. So what am I saying here? I'm saying get your cars tarped at least, otherwise you end up in this situation. As you can see in that, I'll be taking some bits from that VH Town and Country. I've been concerned about what I'm going to do with this plenum. Scuttle panel, sorry. I always swap those two. That is the plenum. And the top bit with the vents and everything and where the wipers sit, that's the scuttle panel. So I've always been a bit concerned about what's going on with the scuttle panel, and I was, like I said in that last bit, I was going to make that up by hand. I'm now going to take all of that out of the VH. Even if I don't take whole sections of the VH engine bay, I'll at least take sections to stitch into it. However, it does make sense just to drill out those and unstitch the whole thing and put the new one on. So I'll probably do that. That's my intention. So this car will be made up of all original VJ Ranger panels. I'm pretty sure this was a Ranger. Pretty basic kind of a car this was. 245 column shift, 3-speed manual, I believe. I'll be taking VH front with a VJ radiator support panel. All original VJ doors, boot, guards, like from this car, and the bonnet, I'm not sure whether that's from this car or not. That's painted white, so I'm going to assume not, and I'm talking brush painted white. So there'll be a lot of VJ, but then there'll be VH parts in it. There'll be a VH scuttle, VH inner guards. There'll be CL boots around, and possibly CL boot floor pan, maybe. I haven't decided what I'm doing with that yet. So it's going to be a mongrel, but it's going to be my mongrel, and it's going to be beautiful. And I'm getting very excited. I'm giddy with how far it's come. Obviously still a massive way to go, so we're going to get into that today, and we're going to do some stuff. I got to run to the shop. I've got to get some welding wire. I ran out of gas, and I ran out of MIG wire for the gasless MIG wire, all in the same day. So I couldn't weld anything. I couldn't finish doing my repairs. So that's not my repair. That was an original on this. I'm going to cut it out. It's not a terrible repair. It's actually reasonable for somebody who wasn't a panel beater. I know the guy who did these repairs. I've met him. We did TAFE together, ironically. Not a bad repair, but not the way I want it done. So I'll cut that out. I'll put another piece in. I've got to assess what I'm doing over here because that's all funky. But first things first is I'll probably go and cut this section out of the CL roof I've got that was for that VH Ute. I was going to chop that roof in half and use the front half for that Town and Country, and then use the back pillars for this. But no, at the moment I'll just be using the back pillars for this. My pillars are from the from the CL. So yeah, it really is a bit. So the 318 that's going into this will be from a LeBaron, which was a CL, basically, from what I can see with my research. My brother's given me that, so that's going to be done on a budget. I'll bare bones it to put it in to show you guys, and then, you know, once everything's done and it's all licensed and all lovely, I'll show you what I'm really doing with it. But that's not for right now, that's for later on. I get torn between whether I want to put a 5-speed manual, probably a Ford T5, behind it, or whether I want to stick with the 3-speed auto, or you can get a box from America that's out of the trucks. It's a what is it? It's a 7. It's a 4-speed auto anyway, and basically it bolts straight up behind the 318. So all decisions I have to make. I want to put power steering on it, and I want to put air conditioning in it, but I don't like the original Valiant air conditioning, and I'm not going to stick to this. Is not going to be a concourse interior. I got some great things happening with this interior, and I'm very excited about it. So yeah, I'm in the dreaming phase right now. I really am, and I'm getting excited. So I got to run to town, get some MIG wire, and get into it. Okay, it's the next day. I went to town. I got some MIG wire. That was $75. I got the 0.9 and I got the gasless. After using the gas to do this side, and then I did have a crack at tigging this side. I do have the footage, but I'm not going to put it up yet because it was a disaster. like I say, I haven't had much, or I haven't had any experience TIGging. It almost looked like I took to it with a plasma cutter in some spots, and it went beautifully in others. So obviously it's probably not your best idea to attempt learning to TIG weld on your project. So I ended up finishing this off with the gasless MIG wire, and it actually came out really, really good. I think bang for buck, gasless MIG wire is the best way to go. I've got another welder that takes a smaller size MIG wire, and I used to go to Super Cheap to get that. But I had a look in Super Cheap yesterday, and they don't do SIG weld anymore. They do some other brand, and I'm not a fan of changing brands, so I'll do a comparison video another time on that. I bought this baby here. They retail for $45. So yeah, these are the Blackridge. I've got the other one at work, like I said, the straight one. This is a right angle. This is what I wanted. I need another one of these for work, to be honest. But this one's for home. This is for doing this project here. Yeah, I've got no complaints about it, especially not for $45. So I've added to the board October. I spent $150 between Temu and getting that stuff yesterday, and I just registered then. I just updated the board. So it's been a year since I've really made any purchases for this car. October 23, October 24, which means, yeah, it's been sat here for over a year doing stuff. I'm a bit shocked at that, to be honest. Makes me a little bit sad and happy because a lot's happened, but yeah, I hope it's done this time next year. Yeah, 511 to date and 25 cents. So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, I'm going to call it on that. Be kind to one another. It's free to be kind. Thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe if you wish. No pressure. Just thank you for watching my content. So no major work this week. Just a bit of an update. See you guys.